If we unfaithful are always inconvenienced by the pain or the trauma or the agony of the betrayed spouse, we miss it. We put up this wall that the betrayed feels like they can't break down or get around or overcome. And the people that suffer the most, yes, the betrayed, but we suffer as well. We're just not fully aware of it. What's vital for us unfaithful is that we understand if we make this mistake, we're going to end up losing a part of our betrayed spouse's heart. If not, maybe even losing them. Here's what I did early on. Here's what I know some of you do. And I just want to encourage you to really start to find a way around doing that. You see, we unfaithful go, man, I'm busy, or not this again, or we're just inconvenienced. And then what we'll also do is we'll kind of at some level say, if you come to me a nicer way, if you wouldn't come to me so harshly, if you wouldn't come to me when I'm busy, if you wouldn't come at me during this time of day, then you'd probably get a better response. And so we blame shift and put the onus on the betrayed to come to us in a better way, in better timing, in a perfect way, because we can't be bothered, or we're so busy, or we have our own issues, or we're dealing with pain too. And so we completely deflect and we put it on the betrayed and say, hey, listen, I need you to handle your trauma in a very kind, gracious, and perfect way. I need you to be better at handling your trauma with me because I am dealing with my own stuff. It's in many ways infuriating to the betrayed spouse. It pushes them away. And what we don't realize till it's almost too late as unfaithful is that we're losing a part of their heart, we're losing a part of them, and if we're not careful, we'll actually end up losing them altogether. Now, I can hear you unfaithful saying, seriously? So they have a license to just flood at any moment, at any time of day, and I just have to lay down and take it? No, I'm not saying that. And that's why one of the biggest struggles is when the unfaithful is at work or the betrayed is at work and the timing of it gets really difficult. And so when the unfaithful is at work and the betrayed is having a difficult moment, that's where learning how to self-soothe, that's where learning how to do your own comforting to yourself and your own pain is vital. But it doesn't mean that you can't reach out to the unfaithful and say, I'm having a terrible time. Can I talk to you in 30 minutes or an hour? And at that point, if an unfaithful receives that text, I would hope that you would say, man, absolutely. Or I can't do 30, but I can do an hour. Or I can do 20 minutes or 15 minutes, but otherwise, I'm going to be in meetings for a while, but it's incumbent upon the unfaithful in that moment to do whatever they can to create time to listen to them, to talk to them, to connect with them, because the betrayed has shot up a flare and said, I'm drowning. I need you. If you as an unfaithful go, look, I don't have time for this right now, you are letting them drown. If you have the approach that says, not this again, or blah, 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 if you take that approach, I just want to warn you. I just want to reach out to you. I just want to tell you, you're going to lose part of their heart, and it's awful. Because what happens is they don't just stop sharing the bad stuff, the triggers, the reminders, the awful discouragement, hopelessness, and despair. They also stop sharing the good things about their life, about their day, about their heart, about their personhood. They stop sharing the good and the bad because they perceive that you are inconvenienced by them. So why do they want to be vulnerable with you? Because you are not showing yourself to be a safe person. With respect to the fact that the betrayed doesn't get to plan when they flood, it's not like they can say, okay, I'm only going to be triggered on your lunch break, unfaithful, or I'm only going to be triggered while you're driving to work or while you're driving home. It doesn't work that way. And there should be compassion to say, look, it's not like the betrayed is scheduling their flooding, but you can put certain boundaries up to where you say, look, As an unfaithful, while you're at work, obviously it's really tough to handle a barrage of text messages or phone calls. And betrayed, that's really where you have to do your own work. You have to have some safe people you can go to, maybe journal, maybe writing, maybe working out. Go break something in the garage if you need to, but to think that they're going to be on call for you is probably just not realistic, especially if they're in a high-pressure job, certainly during a pandemic when jobs are not the easiest things to come by right now. My heart today is to really help you unfaithful, because here's the thing. I said you're losing a part of them. Here's some things that you're losing if you're always inconvenienced by their pain and their hurt and their tears and the agony that they're wading through. You're losing, number one, respect in the eyes of the betrayed. Samantha will tell you that early on she was very angry. She lashed out a lot. She treated me pretty bad. Now, compared to what I deserved, it wasn't bad at all, but it was still bad. But she respected the way I handled myself. She respected the fact that I was doing my work, I was getting serious, I would listen to her. I even kind of put up with some things that Samantha regrets. And she gained respect for me, a new respect, if you will, by how I handled her flooding and how I would drop everything to be with her and listen to her and just let her vent. And so if you're going to be inconvenienced by their pain, unfaithful, you're going to lose their respect because they're finding it really hard to respect you when you make your own agenda or your own pain more important than theirs. Number two is you're losing, I really believe, some of their love. It's going to be hard for them to keep loving you when you've just devastated them, ripped their heart out, ripped the carpet out from underneath their entire life, and now you can't make time for them. They're going to find it hard to love you. They're going to find it hard to appreciate you again because you've done this wicked deed and now you're not giving them a place to heal, to vent, to just experience pain that, I'm sorry, I have to tell you, you created. And you brought into their lives. One of the best things that you can do is say, look, I can take ownership of what I've done. I have to own what I've done. I cheated, I blew it, or I have an addiction. But you know what? I can be safe for you while you're trying to heal. I can be a safe person. I can listen. I can be here for you. Because what will happen is the betrayed will start to really appreciate the demeanor and the candor and the grace that you show by being present for them in their pain. Next, you're going to lose their admiration. You may say, whoa, admiring me? How, what? Samantha will tell you she admired the way that I made such a shift in the demeanor of who I was before the affair came out and after the affair came out and everything went crazy. I realized this was a time that I had to get serious about my own healing, my own recovery work, about my family, about everything that I had lost. And sure, I wish I had woken up before I lost everything. But at the end of the day, I can't change that. Samantha admired the way that I took responsibility, the way that I didn't keep blaming people, that I didn't keep deflecting. I did that for a few weeks, but then as I started to have the lights come on and embrace the help that I was getting, she will tell you she admired the way that I owned what I needed to own. Your betrayed will slowly but surely admire the fact that though you've blown it and made a terrible mistake, you took responsibility, you own it, you manned up, you womaned up, you faced the music. You didn't keep blaming everybody, you didn't keep running away, but you stood your ground, owned what you needed to own, and got healthy. Next is you're losing their desire to be intimate with you. Not just physically, but emotionally. Who wants to be intimate with someone and be vulnerable with someone that doesn't want to make time for them? Why would they want to just give you everything of who they are when you are maybe scheduling that intimacy? And you've got all these other priorities that are on the same level as their hurt and devastation. They're not going to be intimate with you. They're not going to want to be vulnerable with you. In fact, they're going to end up resenting you slowly but surely. And we unfaithful don't really notice it until sometimes it's too late, but all of a sudden, they hit a point where they're like, okay, I'm done. Like I've tried time and time again. I've reached out to you. I've maybe not been perfect, but I've at least tried to throw up flares of I'm drowning, and it's never shared in a right enough way. I never use the right vocal tones, or I never do it the most appropriate way. Well, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm pulling back and maybe even out of the relationship. Finally, you're losing momentum. And you just don't have that luxury. When you're trying to save your family, when you're trying to create safety, when you're trying to pull your betrayed spouse in and try and get past this, you don't have time to lose momentum. As long as you're inconvenienced by them and their pain, as long as you're inconvenienced by their trauma, as long as you're inconvenienced by the agony and the overwhelmment that they're dealing with, you're going to lose momentum and you're going to shake your head at the incredible swiftness of them pulling back saying, I think I'm done. If you're betrayed and you feel that way, you're probably at a point where you have to get serious. Before you hit that point, because sometimes as a betrayed, you hit that point and you don't understand it. You're overwhelmed. You think, how did I get here so fast? Now I'm a raging lunatic and I'm so angry that I'm just done. And you end up maybe making rash decisions that I would encourage you not to make. So maybe it's time for you, betrayed, to go, you know what? This has put some verbiage to what I'm feeling. I need to go to my unfaithful and say, hey, maybe watch this video. Or, hey, listen, I realized something today. You're losing me and I'm almost done. Like you're always inconvenienced at my pain, my hurt. And so if you need more understanding, watch this video. But I'm really close to being done and I'm shooting up my final flare to say, look, if you're going to be inconvenienced by me and my hurt that you have caused, I'm sorry to say, time is running out.